Hi, my name is Rick Redford. Welcome to the pre-launch demonstration of the compensation plan. We're going to go through this compensation plan section by section, but I first want to lay a foundation for you to help you to understand a little bit about the dynamics of what we were looking to create as we created this compensation plan. One of the blessings really of having the team that we have assembled here at Viz, the experience and the talent, enabled us to go about this compensation plan in a very different way. We didn't have to look to copy somebody else's compensation plan. We didn't have to mirror another company, whether we think they're successful or they are successful. What we could do is look at the foundation of how compensation plans work, meaning that we looked at all of the different plans. We looked at the dynamics of why someone joined that type of plan. We looked at the actual behavior that was taught when people joined that plan and compared that to the actual behavior after the plan had been in existence for a little while. We uncovered some very interesting things, and along the way, we were able to construct a plan that truly delivers on the expectations that people have when they go into and start their MLM type business. So we're very excited about this. One of the things to understand is that dynamics of a compensation plan do not always directly end in the results that you're looking for. So we also wanted to look at human behavior. And what happens along the way is you have some comp plans that say you have to do X, Y, or Z to be able to earn a certain number of generations down or to receive a certain percentage of a check and so on. What that does is the more hoops that you apply to this, the less it mirrors what actual behavior is. So what we were able to do is look at that behavior, take away a lot of those restrictions and hoops and say, how can we reward people for the behavior that we know that they're going to generate already? And so that's why we believe that we have a state-of-the-art compensation plan, one that really delivers on those criteria that we talked about and also delivers on the dynamics that we think that people will actually build to. So with that, we're going to go through each of the sections, and I'm going to start with section 1, which we call Fast Start. During the pre-launch period, we may actually be able to come up with a different name for it. But right now, section 1, we're going to call Fast Start. And I want to define a couple of things first. First of all, this part of the plan pays weekly. Our plan pays weekly, monthly, and quarterly. This part of the plan pays weekly. And it features all new volume created by what we call your new VBOs, Viz Business Owners. A lot of companies use IBOs for independent business owners. We're calling them VBOs for Viz Business Owners. Also, it includes all customer volume generated during that same weekly period. Customers don't have a social security number that's given in the system. They don't have to commit to certain behaviors, and therefore they don't take a position in the genealogical tree. So therefore, it's all customer volume is lumped into, very similar to a pool that you have for payment during this Fast Start period. And again, it's paid weekly. So I'm going to give you an example, actually two examples, of how that new volume and customer volume might be paid. And I'm going to draw this as if this is an upline structure. In the first example, you're going to be the enroller, and you are a 200-point qualified individual. We call those V200s. You have an opportunity to earn the Fast Start volume if you have just a qualification of 100 points, but you also have an incentive that if you're 200-point qualified, you can take advantage of a higher percentage, and we'll show you how that works. So the computer looks at this new volume and looks upline for the first person that is V200 or 200-point qualified, and we pay that 20%. Then the computer looks upline for the person that is the first 100-point qualified. Well, being 200-point qualified, it also means that you are 100-point qualified, so you would earn additional 10% in that section. So this would be 20 plus 10 equals 30%. Then the next two upline positions will be paid at 5 and 5. Now this is these are generations, not levels. So there will be compression, and Carol's going to explain a little bit more about what compression means. But for the sake of this conversation, this also includes compression, which means these are generations. So in this particular case, it paid 3 generations. Now in this particular example, we're going to say you're 100 point qualified. The next upline person 100, then 100, then 100, then 200. So the computer's going to look upline first for the first 200 point qualified person, and they will make the 20% on that new volume or that customer volume. Second of all, the computer looks for the first upline 100 point qualifier, which in this case is you, so you would make 10%. Then the computer pays the next 2 levels or 2 generations, which is 5 and 5. So as you can see, this particular portion of the fast start pays 40%, either 3 or 4 generations in this case. So again, just to review, this applies to all new volume created in the first week of a new VBO's existence with Viz, plus any customer volume that's generated during that week. Now, because we always pay 50% on volume, this is short the 10%, so I'm going to explain how that's paid. 5% is reserved in a pool that includes all new VBO volume, and all customer volume globally is put into this pool, and the people that can participate in that pool are those that enroll at least 2 new people with volume during that weekly period for a total volume of at least 400 points. And then the more people that you bring into the Viz business with volume and an initial order is included in this, and you can earn up to as many shares as you could possibly think of. So there is no cap on this. You can earn as many shares as you could participate during that week. It's important to note that it always has to be accompanied with volume. We do not pay just on enrollments. We pay on new Viz business owners volume during that weekly period plus the customer volume. I think that's a key point. Second of all, you have 5% that's paid into the leadership pool. And we're going to talk about that in section 4, but it's important to note that if you're a leader and you're even upline up here somewhere of this organization or this organization, you still get to participate in this volume because the 5% of this volume now goes into the leadership pool. So just a quick review. The fast start, it's paid weekly. It's paid on volume generated by new VBOs during their first week, plus any customer volume that's generated during that same weekly period. Second of all, it's paid either 3 or 4 generations, depending on where you are in that development. My recommendation, and the way to maximize this section, is to always be qualified as a V200, which Carol's going to explain how that monthly qualification looks and how to apply that to this. Then 5% goes into a pool, and 5% is paid in the leadership pool. Therefore, all 50% is paid into this section of the fast start.